Hey YouTube. So the weather got really cold here and like down to zero. So, well, actually it was in the single digits, and then the wind made it like minus like what 20 or something like that. The feels like. So we brought all the bonsais in just to make sure that they'd be okay. And so we're gonna take them back out and then see what we need to do with them. So, but first off, time to, I think the girls went out. Yep, they're sitting there at the fence, so they went out. So let's go let them out, and then we'll put the bonsais out. So it's a nice day, almost 50 degrees. And a little bit of wind, so I guess it cools it back down a little bit, but all right, be back in a second. All right, we've got the bonsais moved outside. So here's the Mugo pine. So I don't know if we're going to do anything with her this year. We might just take some lower branches off. There's definitely one over on that side. It's going to have to come off. So definitely this one's going to come off. This one's kind of coming down. We'll have to see about that one. And we might take this one off over here. So, yeah, that might come off. That's one. We'll have to see. That'll be the last one I cut. So, but yeah, the Mugo is looking pretty good. So you can see it from this side here. So not bad. So this will come off here. Okay. So that's the Mugo pine. These are all the little raptors, or sorry, T-Rexes. Okay, let's see. This one here, this is what? I think this is the Crabapple. So she's getting tall. Oh, look, she's already got some buds out. And it's only February. So we might have to... That's good, that's good. This one, I guess that'll be good because that'll grow forward this way. Has a nice little bend to it here. Might try to make a little bit more bend that way, and maybe a little bit more bend this way. It's got a competition up top here, so I might have to trim this one down a little bit. This is going to be the dominant leader all the way up, so I have to figure something to do with that one. So that's coming along nice. This is our ginseng. So that one's going to go that way. So we'll probably have to cut this off here and then put some wound sealer. I need to put some wound sealer right there too. But that one's looking pretty good. Okay, now this one here, let's see, I think this is, I forget. That's the Crabapple. That's a Crabapple, ginseng. Forget what that one is. That one we bought two of them. So one that looks like that, and then one that looks like the one in the back there at the same time. So I wired that one in the back, so it looks a little crazy, but it looks cool. So which do you think is better? Standing up straight like that, standing up straight like this, or all twisted and curly like that one. So please put your comments, and we'll see what we can do with the other one. If you like the other one, you know, we'll twist it up. If you don't like it, then we'll let the first one just go straight into a formal upright. So leave a comment, let me know what you think. I'll read them, and then we can we'll do whatever we need to, whatever you say. All right, this one here, she's looking good. She's getting tall. Need a taller shelf, but we're gonna have to trim this back here. So she's getting longer. That's good, looks healthy. We wired the branches down a little bit, so that one's looking good. This is a sort of boxwood, so that one just, we're leaving it as is. We'll see what we get out of it. The bark in the back is really cool. So I don't know if you can see the bark there, but really neat bark. Okay, and this one here is a Trident maple. Remember, it lost all its leaves, and all the foliage got dried up in the sun. So we took all the leaves off and we put it in the shade and tried to let it recuperate. And she did, to a point. We had to cut it right there because that was dead on up. So I guess this is going to be the new leader here, right on this side here, and then probably make this the new top. So I'll have to trim this one back. Have to decide what to do with this. Maybe I don't know if we're going to tip it or anything like that. It's looking really good. I like the bark on it. So this bark is real nice. So first branch, second branch. I'll have to let this branch in the back grow. Then we might take this one off, or we might leave that there. I don't know. So, but that's just in the middle of growing. So she's got little tiny buds also. So she's starting to come up. So when it's this early in the season and they're starting to bud, this is a good time to trim it out. So here's another one. She's doing really good. Just probably leave this one as a upright and just trim it off and keep it nice and shapely. Yeah, I heard you, girl. No picking at the bonsais, okay? I know that you like to do that. Yes. Okay, and here's the lion's head maple. So we'll see what we can do with this. It's getting taller, so we'll try to figure out a shape for him or her. I don't know which one. Lion's head, I guess it would be a him, but we've got the other lion's head over there in the corner. So we got to air layer that top branch. Okay, and then we got this one here. This is, I believe this is the jasmine. So we had to spread that out and hook that in there because it was kind of loose. It's not your leaf, but this one has beautiful flowers. So I hope we get a lot of flowers on it this year, but might have to trim it back. We'll trim back some of these branches that are just drooping straight down. So we'll try to keep it up. She's got a nice V in the trunk there, so it'll make a nice display. This is the flowering quince, the one that was dubbed the ugly bonsai off the internet. So that's looking good. So you can see how we spread it out. So she's starting to recover, has lots of flowers. Gave us some fruit even last year. So we're letting that one grow. Let it get nice and strong. So, you know, any of these any of the bonsais, if you want to comment on them, or if you got better tips or something that might think would be neat to do, go ahead and just comment about it, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. So I'm not a beginner, but I'm not an expert, so somewhere in the middle. So not the best, not the worst, somewhere in the middle. So let me know what you think. And here's our last two. This is the Chinese elm. It's got a really S curve there. I was thinking about bringing this down a little bit more, leaning it forward like this, so it looks like it's praying, or showing you respect from the front view here. So these ones here are the sacrificial branches, so I'm letting them grow out. Probably cut those back eventually to here, because that'll be our nice triangle like that, so we'll get that shape. So maybe cut it back here, or maybe a little further out. Same with the back, but I would still want this one to grow thicker. It got nice and thick here, so just basically caught up to that, looking good. So that's the Chinese elm. It's looking good. Okay, and this one here is the Hawthorne, also known as ironwood, which is super cool. I love the bark on that. Look at that silver. So ironwood, and she's really hard bark, really hard branches. So I was actually able to bend this one down, because I had a dilemma last year. This one here, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I was going to cut this thick one and let this one grow out and this one grow out, but I thought that that is pretty big already, and it makes a nice, just like holds that whole side. So what I was able to do this year, I just tried it a few minutes ago. This can bend down, so I might bend this down further, pointing to the front, and then I can keep this one here, and then we'll cut the one off of the back, because it started growing this way. You can see this branch here, it's growing in that direction, unless I really pull this all the way back here. That's another option, but I don't know. Pull it all the way back there and still take out that center branch. I'm not sure. And you can see it. Well, you can't really see, but you can't feel it, but I'm pulling on that pretty hard in order to get that to bend. And same with this one here. They're just really super stiff. I don't know what's happening here. This bark, maybe it's from this being there, but take that out now. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll cut it and then do something with these two branches here. You can make it up. So, well, let me know what you think on that one. So, yeah. So that's the outside bonsais, and with the exception of the black pines. Let's see how the black pines are doing. Wow, that's awesome. These guys are doing gangbusters. Look how thick that is. She's getting leggy. Definitely gonna have to cut her back. This will be the year. Okay, so in the springtime, don't forget to watch in the spring. I'm gonna do a video on cutting these back, and we'll see how they make out. Ooh, okay, they're very healthy. So, ouch. And do you know why? Usually, if they're really prickly, they're healthy, they're strong. And yeah, that one definitely is. So we'll do some cutting on this one here. See how it looks in the back here. Yep. So I might even do mercury on this one again. Maybe that'll get it to bud back. Look at that long shoots. And see how the trunk is. That trunk is looking awesome. Look at that scales. They look cool. So nice. Love that. And getting up into there. It's looking good in there. Okay, let's take a look at the last one here. So here's the last one. So this one was looking good too. Not as prickly. So this has always been the secondary one, but she's still beautiful. So look at that scales and then all that stuff. It's got some long leggy. Yeah, getting some candles too. So we'll have to get rid of all of that before we do some trimming. But this one, I might switch this up. That's pretty sharp over there and healthy. This one here's kind of soft, but I might maybe I'll put this one over there so it gets more sun, and then bring that one back over here. I don't know, we'll see. So, well, and then, oh yep, last but not least, this crepe myrtle. So we're trying our hand at a crepe myrtle, see what that does. So the very first one I've done. So I tried to get one with a single stem. I'm gonna have to cut out a couple more of the stems and then also trim it back. It's getting tall, so it's that tall. So maybe I'll trim it back to maybe about here. But yeah, crepe myrtles grow pretty well here, so I'm hoping that it does good. Looks like this one here is dying in here, that branch. Now, looks like it might have selectively chosen itself to go. So, oh yeah. So this is my dwarf Japanese maple. So I've been wondering what to do with this. So far I've been cutting it kind of like a bonsai. Oop, look at that. See that? That's a praying mantis cocoon. Yep. In the springtime, this thing's just gonna all of a sudden just have like hundreds of praying mantises come out of it. So it's pretty cool. Oh, there's another one right there. But yeah, so this is the Japanese maple. I've been trying to make it look like a bonsai. Get some really interesting branches here. But this one is going all the way over here. That's going to have to go. But if you can see the trunk comes up and then it splits and it goes over that way, comes back over this way and then out the back. It's a really interesting tree. I wish I could pull that out of the ground, make a bonsai out of it. So the cats love getting under there, and same with the chickens, but they all stay underneath it. The cats will perch up on these branches here and climb up, and that's where they sit, right up in there, and they'll watch cat TV or the bird feeders. So okay, well, that's the collection for now. Well, except for the tropicals that I have inside. Those, I've got 4 tropicals inside. They're ficuses, and they're gonna stay indoors until the spring. Probably around Mother's Day is when I'll bring those out. And but I've just been watering those all winter, and they're doing good. So little to no fertilizer during the winter time, but just keep them in the sunny window, and they're doing all right. So we'll bring those back out soon, and they'll go over down by the pond over there on the bench. So they like that area. But all right, well, that's the update for now. And please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends so they could subscribe as well, you know. So yep, it helps. So makes me want to go out and put some more stuff out on here. So all right, well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. See ya.